Alright folks, how you doing? RussellTrueResults303.com. Check out the website, link in the description box, Mind, Body, Spirit, Fitness. I am recording this, so this might be a podcast as well. That's why the introduction's a little different. I'm trying to record my videos and the audio at the same time, trying to kill two birds with one stone. So thank you for tuning in. So hopefully this isn't too loud for you listening to the podcast. So once again, just visit TrueResults303.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Click on that free gifts button. Got a couple free gifts there for you. Setting goals, nutrition, supplementation. And once again, just let people know that this is out there, whether it's the podcast or YouTube. So I'm coming at you today with a video on water conservation. I've been thinking about this one for a while. And now I'm reading a book on the cure for cancer. So I'm making a few videos on this. And this is going, like I said, water conservation and the big lie that we are told about water conservation. So now, of course, with technology expanding daily, right? We've got low flow toilets. I was in the landscaping business for 10 plus years and they came out with the MP rotor nozzle. You might have them in your front yard. And this is just a nozzle, new technology. Right now it's probably about 7 years old, and it puts out less water per minute, which of course is going to eliminate, well, not eliminate, but reduce, what's the word I'm looking for, reduce the loss of water in the air. I can't think of the proper word now. And then of course just runoff in general, right? Prevent runoff. So I was watching PBS a while back, and it was funny because it was an interview with someone from a waterworks company, whether it be, I'm from Denver, so Denver Waterworks, it could be Colorado Waterworks, whatever city you're from. And he talked about kind of the downfall, or how we are misled by these technologies of low flow toilets, low flow sprinkler heads, low flow whatever, right? If you go into any restaurant right now, or anywhere to use the restroom, if you look at the toilet, for us men, if you look down when you're at a stand-up urinal, there's some of them will say the pint. So, or some of them now here at the gym I'm going to is zero water. And what he discussed was the downfall of this is that now that we're going low flow, everybody's going low flow, trying to conserve water, that now the sewer system itself is getting clogged. So what they have to do is just turn on the water full blast and let it flush out the pipes, right, underground. And then the unfortunate thing is there's no mathematical equation on, hey, this is the exact amount of water we need to flush through the system to ensure that the pipes are cleaned. So they just turn it on and let it go. And unfortunately, there's probably a lot of water being wasted, right? Pretend, it really only needed 300 gallons, but they just turned it on for 30 minutes and you ended up using 3,000. So unfortunately, they just wasted 2,700 gallons. So whatever half of a gallon that you tried to save in your house didn't really work anyways, because we ended up losing thousands of gallons. But in reality, we're not really losing anything, because we're reusing at all times, right? That's why we have these water treatment facilities where they just clean the water. So the thing is, we just need to understand that to truly conserve and save water has nothing to do with the newest toilet, the newest sprinkler nozzle, the newest whatever it's going to be. That's just a marketing scheme to get you to spend your hard-earned money on something that, in my opinion, really doesn't matter. So the truth is, what can we do to actually save water? And yes, there is something that we can do. There's something that you can do. There's something that I can do. And I'm going to come up with just two scenarios first before I get into it. And then you're going to really understand what we need to do. And it's going to click with you instantly, right? So I watched a documentary. You should check it out. I think this is it. I hope it's it. I watched it a long time ago, and it was called Solo. And it was called Solo because it was Southern Louisiana, if I remember correctly. I hope I got this right. And it talked about where the Mississippi River meets the Gulf of Mexico, or whatever ocean it is. I'm assuming it's the Gulf of Mexico. My geography isn't the greatest. But there's like a whole mile area, right outside of where it meets, to where nothing can grow. I apologize for the noise. I am near a window if you're on the podcast. I'm just up in the second floor of the house. If you're on the podcast, you can, or if you're on YouTube, you can see it. But there's that whole mile area where nothing can live. I think they said maybe there was just some weird black fungus sludge that lives in that area. Other than that, there are no fish. There is no life in that area besides that fungus, because it's so polluted and contaminated that nothing can grow there. Nothing can thrive and survive in that area. And he says this is, of course, just from the toxins and the pollutants of the farmlands with the fertilizers and the weed killers and things like that they have to use on these crops. Whoa, what are you doing? Can't you see I'm trying to go to the bathroom here? No, I'm just kidding. Hey, remember, don't forget to visit TrueResults303.com. Click on the free gift button. Got a free download for setting goals, free download for nutrition. Who knows, there might be some other things. Now back to your regularly scheduled program. And of course, along with just the waste of man. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's a ton of cigarette butts in there because everybody just flicks them out the window, right? You know, who knows what's in there? I'm sure there's so many chemicals, these big corporations are just polluting the water, just, silently dumping their chemicals and their waste products into the water, unfortunately, to save a buck. And the next thing would be, now I was listening to another podcast of my own, and they were talking about how now newborn babies, and I think it was even babies in the womb, when they take blood samples, have over like 50 or 100 different chemicals already in their bloodstream. And this is a baby that's been on this planet for 2 minutes, and it already has 200 different chemicals in its body. And then we wonder why there's so many birth defects, diseases, and illnesses plaguing the youth, plaguing newborn babies. And I think this is a big reason, just because there are so many chemicals, from the plastics, from prescription drugs, birth control, caffeine, anything, cleaning products. And these are getting into our system through the drinking water. So I think it's safe to say, just with those two examples, you already know what I'm going to be talking about. And the only way that we can truly fix the water crisis is to be mindful of what we are doing. What products are we using? Right? For me, I don't even use bleach anymore. It's no longer a part of the household. I just use regular soap or regular laundry detergent, an organic one. Try to use an organic one. It's a couple bucks more, but it's better for the environment, right? It's better for our drinking water. Same thing with your cleaning products. What are you using for your cleaning products? Is there an organic alternative? A lot of these for, if you're just using regular spray cleaners, you can buy a concentrate. So yeah, the concentrate costs $20, but it says it'll make 50 gallons or whatever. Oh, now we got a motorcycle. Sorry for the podcasters. I got the window open. It's a nice day. I'm letting my house air out. So another thing for you to think about, right, is that right there. What products are you using right now in your house for yourself? Prescription drugs, supplementation, anything like that could be polluting the water, because once you go to the restroom, urinate, flush your body out, it goes into the drinking water, and now they have to clean it. And unfortunately, these waterworks companies, this is going to be loud when this motorcycle drives by, I apologize. They are unable, I'm just going to shut this door. Hopefully that didn't kill your ears, I apologize. But unfortunately, they are not able to clean this water that even we can drink it. So if you have a sprinkler system, or you've noticed when you walk through the parks, There are green valve boxes, right? I've done landscaping for 10 plus years. So there's that green valve box. And inside that valve box are your sprinkler valves where the wires are, everything's wired up, right? So now if you go around to certain areas, you might notice that there are purple valve boxes. And the purple valve box is non-potable water. Now this is water that is unsafe for human consumption. To where if you drink it, you will get sick. So what they're doing now here in Colorado, and I'm sure it's throughout the whole United States, probably even outside the United States, is they're creating new pipelines where they can pipe this water through to the sprinkler system for parks and HOAs, homeowner associations, large communities. And then they give you a discount if you water your lawn with this water. But doesn't that seem a little weird? Humans can't drink it, but we're going to water our lawns with it. And then once it goes into the ground, it has an opportunity to contaminate the water supply below, the aquifers, right? Where the water is naturally stored in the ground. So now we're just contaminating water that we probably haven't even tapped into yet. So we're just creating more problems. And then, of course, like I said, or I don't know if I mentioned, they give you a discount on this water. So like I said, the only true way to conserve water is to be aware of what products you are using, chemicals, what you're showering with, what's in your shampoos, your soaps. What are you cleaning your dishes with, your laundry with, your clothes? What drugs are you taking? Doesn't matter if they're prescription. There are alternatives. We got to understand that a majority of these prescription drugs are just derivatives from food that they have used, and they have isolated this compound, threw it into a pill for you to take. And if that's the case, why wouldn't you just take the actual or consume the actual food or take an extract instead of this prescription drug? Not only is this going to create a healthier you, it's not only going to, if you are a pregnant lady, protect your children. Even if you're not pregnant, protect your children. It's going to protect our environment and our drinking water, conserved water, right? Because no matter what, if you're in the big city, you're drinking recycled and cleaned water anyways, right? And then, of course, when it rains, you know, there was that whole big spiel back in the 90s, I think, with acid rain and this and that. Well, we need to be protecting the environment with these, with these practices of not putting chemicals into the environment. That could have came out better. That was horrible. But so that's all I'm saying. If you really want to conserve water, you need to be careful of what chemicals you are using. And it's not only for the water, it's for the health of you, your children, your family, your neighbor, the earth in general. So that's the only way that we are truly going to be able to conserve water. It has nothing to do with your new cool low flow toilet, your no water toilet, your sprinkler system nozzle, your rain sensor that turns off the water when it's raining. Now, hey, of course that's great. We don't, if you don't have to use the water, don't. But we've got to understand that is really not going to have an effect on conserving water. I mean, what does it cost to really get, what is your, I guess the big question I want to ask you right now is, what is your water bill right now? Do you know what your water bill is, your usage? What is it? Probably $40 a month, $50 a month, So I guess the truth is, what does that really come down to? I'm sure you use gallons of water every day, like gallons and gallons of water, 100 gallons a day. If you're doing the laundry, multiple gallons a day. And if your bill's only $40, what are you really saving? $2 a month, $3 a month probably. You got to take that into consideration. I had this conversation as well with an ex-girlfriend. I'm going to get off topic here but she used to sit there and drive around everywhere. And we all do it. We're guilty of this. We drive around trying to find the best gas price, right? Ooh, I saved 3 cents. Oh my goodness, I saved 3 cents. Yes. I saved 3 cents per gallon. And then that one day, if you think about it, 3 cents. So you drive around for 20 minutes trying to save 3 cents. And if you only had to put 10 gallons in your car, right? That's 30 cents. That's 30 cents. So if you had to put 20, that's 60 cents. You saved 60 cents. You drove around and probably wasted half a gallon of gas, and if a gallon's $1, if a gallon's $2 like it is now, you saved $1 to drive around to save 60 cents. So in reality, you still lost 40 cents. I mean, doesn't that make sense? You know what I mean? So, it's just really thinking. That's why meditation is so great. If you just turn off all these outside interferences and just sit and be and relax and prevent all this outside interference, great things are going to come. You're going to start to understand the world the way it works. And now I'm getting off the topic, but there you go. Some food for thought on what you can really do to conserve water, save the planet if that's what you want to call it, but really just be a healthier you. Water is key. The body is 70% water, if not more, right? So we need to make sure that we are giving ourselves a clean supply of water. That's why a water filter is so important. Whether it's a $100 filter or $30 filter, whatever, a filter is better than no filter. If it's eliminating a little bit of toxin, that's better than it not eliminating any toxins, right? So I just hope you take that into consideration and start to analyze your own lifestyle and see what you can do to have an impact on the water supply and truly become healthier and help this planet out. I'm not a big, health nut, super green, anything like that. It's just, the funny thing is usually what's good, it's what they say, what's good for the goose isn't good for the gander, which I assume, I've never looked into it, I'm assuming, what's good for me might not always be good for the world as a whole. So just think about that next time you try to do something. Like I said, my big motto recently is, you do it because it's the right thing to do. Whether it costs an extra dollar or not doesn't mean anything. You do it because it's the right thing to do. And that's what we should be living by. If we live by that motto, you do it because it's the right thing to do, or did whatever activity you just participate in make you a better person? Did listening to this podcast, watching this YouTube video make you a better person? Expand your mind a little bit? Then you're on the right path. But if you can honestly say when you get done with an activity, it didn't make you a better person, it didn't make you grow and expand your mind, your body, your spirit, then most likely you shouldn't be doing it. You shouldn't have done it to begin with. And I've been there. I'm still working on it myself. And that's all we can do. That's all we can hope for, that we have the strength to keep striving to become better. So, I'm done with the rant. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to go to the website, sign up for the newsletter, check out those free gifts, subscribe to the podcast, share this with somebody. If it's going to help somebody, post it on their Facebook page, tag a friend, subscribe to the channel, tweet about it for me, help me out. So I hope this helped. Subscribe to the channel, share and like, stay tuned for more information.